We're doing a thing.
Happy August.
Yeah, it's August already. It's crazy.
It's long days, it's super hot,
Mm-hmm.
tons of mosquitoes, and
Yeah.
no time for fun.
Mm, yeah, sounds about right. Yep.
Happy August. But with a new month, it means one gaming related thing. It means PS Plus free titles.
Yay!
I'm like waving my hands around Muppet style.
Woo!
Let's talk a little bit about what's available for all of those PS Plus fanatics, or
Sure.
just people who own PS Plus. Maybe you're not fanatical, but you do own it. Those people you can listen to.
Oh no. Yeah. Tell us. Tell us.
We've got
Mm.
we've got Mafia 3.
Okay.
Big game. That is
Yeah.
the AAA title being made available to us in August. It was not so highly rated, but it was a big title, so there's that.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dead by Daylight, never heard of it, have done no research whatsoever. Those are 3 words, and it means it's a game, but I don't know anything about it.
It looked
And if we
scary
still
from
rock,
the image, though. It looked like it was a
you know,
horror-y thing. And the title, Dead by Daylight,
but,
I mean, you know.
well, the dead part, but Daylight's nice and positive.
But you're dead before you get to daylight.
Oh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
PS3, that's a thing that people still own and have PS Plus for, at least until March when it becomes
When it,
discontinued.
yeah, goes away.
Goes away forever. Bound by Flame, that is another game, 3 words.
Yeah.
Also,
With a
so
by in the
you
middle.
have to get
Same
it's right.
conjunction there.
You have to be consistent, and
Yeah.
I appreciate that they're really appeasing the OCD in us.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh, Serious Sam 3 BFE, another third game, as
Oh
opposed
yeah.
to Mafia 3.
Yep.
They're keeping it consistent. I know nothing about that game, so that's a game. PS Vita has Draw Slasher
Draw
and
slasher.
Space Hulk.
Oh. Why does
So
the PS Vita has two games that both only have 2 words?
I don't know. I feel like the PS Vita is not even trying.
I know. They're not keeping up. They're bucking
But
the
with
trends here.
Space Hulk, it means I guess they got Hulk from Thor Ragnarok. That's pretty cool.
Right, yeah. I mean, cuz Hulk wasn't in space until then.
I'm just saying that I assume it's an official Marvel property. I'm
Right.
assuming. I've
Yeah.
done no research, but I'm pretty
Seems
confident.
logical to me.
And hey, this is a special month because we're getting 2 bonuses. It's not one bonus, it's 2 bonuses. One is a PSVR game. We haven't had one of those in a little while.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Here They Lie is the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be scary.
Yeah, it looked pretty scary. Why is it that I think almost every PSVR game that we've played has been scary?
A lot of them. I think it has to do with the fact that because PSVR is so in
It's
your
an
face,
immersive,
it's very
yeah.
easy
Mm-hmm.
to just be like, jump scares, we
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
And another thing, which I didn't know we had, and we're gonna have it until November, it's called Knowledge is Power.
Okay. I didn't know
It
that was a
seems to be
thing.
one of those PS Link quiz type games.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
if you're into PS Link or quizzing,
Mm-hmm.
that's August. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
It feels kind of lackluster, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of Mafia 3, didn't really know much about it. Other than that, it was obviously a third game. And I had never heard
Mm.
of any of these other ones. So, feels kind of like they know it's August and people are either like at the beach or getting ready to go back to school and they're like, let's not blow our good games in August.
Yeah, it really does feel they're like, okay, here's some ones we found in that
Right?
bucket
Like they
of,
were in the
of
back of the closet. Yeah.
lost and found. We
Yeah.
found those, and there you go. And you can. I feel it more because of the free games, the bonus games. It feels like we did a thing, and it's a shame because the Xbox gaming, what is it called? Game services,
I don't know.
games gone gold, whatever. Their free service, they're killing it. They're
Oh,
killing it.
really?
Yeah,
I
it's a
didn't
little
know
like,
that.
come on, PS. You gotta, and I know you're in the lead by like miles, but you gotta
Well,
justify.
yeah. This however much dollars a month I pay for this a year,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
I mean, I don't eat on Thursdays just so that I can afford this service. It's not true. It's really affordable. Really, just the
Yeah, it's
cost of a
actually
single
not bad, and
game.
you can always find, like, I just bought a 1 year renewal for PS Plus from eBay for $47, which if you buy it from Sony, it's 60. So you can find deals.
Yeah.
You can find them.
But even at 60 at full price, you're talking the cost of
It's
one game.
$5 a month.
One. Yeah. I mean, it's really good.
Yeah,
It's a no-brainer. I
yeah,
mean, if
really
you
it is.
can, if you have that income, go for it.
Yeah, if you have the disposable income, totally worth it. If you are struggling to get by in your life, maybe don't blow your money on this. But who am I to judge? Do
Yeah.
whatever you want. It's your income.
Don't eat like me. Let us talk. What should we talk? Oh no, let's do something different. Let's
Okay.
go to the scripted.
Oh
Let's go
my
to the
gosh.
scripted portion of our show.
Okay.
Yes.
Shh,
Okay, here we go.
don't tell the inside scoop of our. We're not scripted. We're totally off the cuff all the time, always.
Yes, we. This is how we roll. So,
Yeah.
Hello, fellow human. What is your identifier?
Hello, I am Lauren, aka Caustic Softa. and and you are?
You'll just read whatever I put there.
Yep. Just you. It's like Anchorman with the
Yes.
yeah, the teleprompter. He just reads whatever's there.
I'm gonna test this out. We'll see next week.
Okay.
I am the entity known as Tony, aka Paradox.
Tony, I like the up at the end.
Tony.
That's right, that's us. And we're still the martial arts themed role playing gamers. Were we that before? I
We
like
may
that.
not have been that before. I feel like that may be another.
And today
Another
we're trying
holdover.
to get one trophy in Absolver, as you can see on the screen here.
I mean, of course, we've always been the martial arts themed role players. I wear my black belt to every recording. Do you not?
You have a black belt? Damn, man, I gotta catch up.
Well, I with a Sharpie. It was
Oh,
yellow.
you
and I
fudged
just,
it? You fudged it.
Yeah, a little, yeah. Anyway, Absolver is one of the July 2018 PS Plus free downloads for the PS4. You've lost your chance to purchase the remainder of July, so feel bad about your decisions if you did not do that. If you did do that, great, play it whenever you're ready. Watch the review here first, and if you haven't downloaded, then I guess live vicariously through us.
Yes, I will be playing Absolver, generally unaware of what gameplay awaits. I literally know nothing about this game other than its title, and that there's like things blowing in that window behind me, and I really already
Snow
like the
exists
aesthetic of it.
in this universe.
Yeah, so Tony will be joining me. As you can see, he's already joined me.
Hello.
He's he's the
It's
show's
pronounced
game
Tony.
expert, Tony, and he'll be guiding me, if necessary, towards the trophy goal.
There will be much guiding. But I believe we're good to go. So we invite all of our... No, we here at Two Gamers... I'm skipping ahead.
Oh my god.
We here at Two Gamers One Trophy don't just review the free PS Plus titles. We like to add a little extra challenge. For Absolver, we are doing a targeted trophy, which means Lauren will be going after one specific trophy. In this case, it's a bronze trophy titled This Is a Doll?
That's what that looks like to me. A doll.
Adol? Adol?
Something.
Anyway, it's 56.47% common, which means people on psnprofiles.com at the trophy aggregator, they tend to give this trophy quite commonly. In fact, they tend to give this trophy more than any other trophy.
Interesting. We invite all of our live viewers to join in the Twitch chat. Let us know if you're playing along or tell us your impressions of the game. We'd love to participate with you guys. We're a little bit self-absorbed, but we also do like other people. So, it's whatever. But
It's helpful if they're making comments about us. I'm very
Yes.
responsive to comments.
Yes, we
about
don't
me.
care what you think about the game. We want to know what you think of us.
If you could tie in the game to us, I'm
Yes,
good with that.
exactly. Totally. For those of you joining us later on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. But no more delay. We start the gameplay now.
No. So I'm noticing a lot of versions in the bottom right, some servers were offline, online. This game is primarily multiplayer. There is the
Okay.
ability to play offline, so no worries. But there is a large part of this that we're not really going to get into because we don't do a lot of online play here.
Yeah, not really. As you can see, first of all, I'm turning on the volume of my TV, which you can't see, but it's kind of loudish. So I'm gonna turn down the sound options in the game
Hmm.
because, you know, I like to hear myself think, and I like to hear Tony talk, and I like to hear myself talk.
A
So,
lot of the times we miss out on the sound effects and the music, which is one aspect of the show that we haven't figured out, and it's a shame because sometimes the music and the ancillary sound is fantastic. And I want to point out that the composer is the same composer that did Journey, another
oh,
fantastic
I love
musical score.
Journey.
Yeah, and the music was fantastic. It's Austin Winterroy is the composer, so we'll be missing out on his music. Feel free to play the game on your own, experience it, or leave a comment if you have played this and you love the music or hate it. We will hear anything.
Yeah, tell us anything you want to know about this. I mean, you want us to know, or
Tell
that you
us
want to know. We'll
everything.
we'll tell you stuff.
Yeah, just it'll be on the internet forever, and there's no confidentiality whatsoever. So feel free to divulge anything.
How come I? Oh,
Music
oh, okay.
8. Music is good according to Cursed KI, so that's good. Well, he actually says I ate, or she. Okay, so we're doing some customization right now. You're choosing your avatar, you're choosing your combat style. One of the things about this game is that you adjust your combat style as you go. So it's simplistic combat style, but it becomes more complicated as you add different combat combos, I guess.
Okay.
So go with a style that you feel feels right for you in the beginning. You'll master it, and then you'll get to add more on. And
Cool.
you're not making hard choices. If it turns out there's something you don't like, you eventually can switch it out for another combat style. Can I say also that the haircut you've chosen for your avatar
Yeah.
is familiar?
Right. Looks like me.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. My hair is very blonde right now, guys. I had colored it silver earlier in the year, and in order to do so, obviously they have to bleach it. And so now my hair is just very bleach blonde, and it's kind of cool. I kind of like it.
You're always very daring with your hair. For me, it's just one conservative Republican haircut, please.
But the thing with you is that you go crazy with your facial hair. Like you always have
I
different
do.
facial hair. I never know what to expect with you.
It's true. I do go kind of wild with
I mean,
the
it's not like
face.
anything really like out there, but it's always different. Every time I see you, it's different.
I get bored with my face. What can I say?
I mean, I think we all get bored with our own faces.
So we're not getting the audio on the very light story that this game provides. It's not a story-based game. I
Mm.
mean, this is really just a setup for the reason that we're fighting. We're doing a bunch of brawling.
Um, yeah, I need my hair to be that long. New goal,
Yeah.
long hair, but still shaved on the one side.
While it goes through its setup, let's talk a little bit about the development team. It was developed by Slow Clap, which was a Parisian indie game developer composed of former Ubisoft Paris employees. So we have some actual experienced developers here doing a kind of a pet project, which bodes well. That typically works out well. You think of Journey, you think of these kind of small indie teams that clearly had a lot of development insight.
Cool.
Devolver Digital published, and it was released August 29th, 2017 in North America.
Oh, so not very long ago.
No, yeah. And that's the thing with the PS Plus, is a lot of the indie games, they tend to give us either soon after release or even day of. You think back to Rocket League, that was a big sort
Oh,
of,
yeah.
ta-da, you get it the same day, which was nice.
Yes, Tony has played this game before. Cursed
Yeah.
KI. I have not, and so Tony is going to sort of help me play this while I try to earn the trophy. So it'll be a fun experience. This is how it always usually goes. One of us has played the game and the other person has not. So yeah.
Sometimes when we're light on time, I'll have watched some YouTube videos or something. Next week, with the PSVR title, Lauren will not be able to play that game
Right.
beforehand. So she'll probably be watching a bunch of YouTube videos.
Yeah, I don't
Now, I
have
don't know.
VR. Mhm.
Yeah. Now, I don't know for you if this seems familiar. This opening was very familiar to me, the opening of Rhyme. Do you remember that
Yes.
game we played?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. This looks very similar to the opening area of Rhyme.
Yeah, this sort of idyllic island, and the color scheme and the art style is very similar. So that was a nice callback. And there was another indie game, so I definitely got good vibes immediately upon this because we really enjoyed Rhyme.
Yeah.
There was another game we played, which I should have looked up. It was one in which the game world was composed of a bunch of polygons, and the main character was kind of a ballet dancer. Do you remember this game?
Oh, God, what was the name of that?
I want to say it was Bound. Was it Bound?
Yeah, Bound.
Another indie title, very it had an experimental feel, and it was a little bit of a puzzle, kind of a platforming puzzle game. The style of combat in this game is similar to Bound, in that Bound was very much about a dance motif. All of her movements were dance. It was going, big jumps, and the way you moved interacted with the soundtrack. The soundtrack got more intense the more you moved. For this game, your combat is designed to be fluid in such a way to remind of dance. That was the development team's goal. And if you ever played any of the Batman Arkham series, there was a lot of praise on their combat because of how fluid it was. So the hope was that this would be a much more rhythmic version of that.
I see. Um, did you actually play this one, or did you just, is this a YouTube video one?
This was a YouTube video one,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So while Lauren gets the grasp of combat and tutorial here, which, part of the reason we do the show is to review it, but unfortunately, because we start all of our episodes from the beginning of a game, we end up doing a ton of tutorial and first levels. It's kind
Yeah.
of the curse of the show, is we don't get much further because of that.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to be able to compare that, to compare how every game approaches, how to access a game, how quickly it takes, and how much you actually get from the first couple of hours of gameplay. So while you fight, I'll give you the PS description. This is
Yeah.
the official PlayStation breakdown of what this game is. Absolver is an online multiplayer combat experience where players are placed behind the mask of a prospect by the ever-present guides, the new rulers of the fallen adult empire that will determine your worth in joining their elite corps of enforcers. Prospects will wander forsaken lands, encountering others to learn new combat skills, acquire weapons and armor, and engage in solo duels and intense 3-on-3 battles. Players will define their prospect's approach by picking a combat style, a weapon of choice, and arranging attacks in their combat deck to design a unique and personal attack flow. Through battle with opponents, sparring with friends, and even taking on a mentor, players will expand their knowledge and mastery of combat with new moves, weapons, and armor on their journey to absolution. Gameplay modes include solo play, online cooperative modes, and online versus modes. Again, we'll be focusing on the solo play,
Yeah.
but a significant portion of this game, again, is the online component. Some of the trophies, and for those who are not familiar, I'm a big trophy hunter. Lauren is not, she plays for the trophies for the purpose of this show, but normally you don't go after trophies. That's not your bag.
No.
Yeah. So several of the trophies, at least half of them for this game, are all based on the online component. You know, as you play, you get levels, and we'll talk a little bit more about how I feel about multiplayer trophies later. But you know, it is a significant portion that I feel I have to emphasize that we're not going to see that. We're going to focus on the solo here.
So, I'm a button masher when it comes to games like this. I'm just like, yeah, you can teach me all the stuff you want, but I'm just gonna mash all the things.
And that gets you pretty far. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it's not always a terrible strategy. Once you get with an actual competitive player, you're doomed. You know, that's
Sure,
not
sure,
gonna help you
sure.
at all.
Yeah, yeah,
But considering this is a new this is a relatively new PS Plus release, you probably still have a lot of newbies just exploring this game.
yeah. Oh yeah, I don't doubt that. I mean, this. Ooh, where did you come from?
Now,
Ooh.
I can't guarantee that you're not encountering real life players. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that we're experiencing just NPCs here, but to
Okay.
be honest, I don't know. We even have advice from one of our viewers to watch out for two versus one from online people, so that may be happening right now.
Oh. I leveled up.
So, like every game developed in the past 5 and 10 years, there are RPG elements to this game. As you complete action requirements, you get the ability to add new combat skills, combat cards, I believe they call them.
Okay.
And this is one of those tropes in gaming that I like. I'm a big RPG guy, and the fact that they add, you know, stats and development, it really kind of tickles that OCD I have of I want, you know, to maximize everything I can for the character. I want to collect all the things. So for me, I like that. But there are other players that I've talked to who they get annoyed. They want to play an action game. They want to play a fighting game. They don't want to focus on, you know, I'm leveling up. I'm getting this gear that I have to grind for. That annoys some players. But you know, it's clearly a trend in gaming today. It has been for years, and it's prevalent here as well.
Huh.
So you've only had a couple of minutes, really,
Yeah.
in gameplay. But how are you finding controls? Are you finding it the tutorial is doing a good job of
I
directing
mean,
you, or?
I'm a little bit confused,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I understand.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I can lock onto the people, that much I know. And then
Mm-hmm.
I can change the kind of fighting stance I'm using by pushing
Mm-hmm.
R2 and then moving my directional thing. I can
Mm-hmm.
parry, I can block, I can, like, sidestep. And I have different kinds of attacks as well.
Yeah.
So I basically understand all of that, but like I understand it like in theory, but in practice it's a little bit, you know, confusing.
Right.
But the controls are fine. Like once I figured out like, oh yeah, I actually need to hold R2 and then, you know, move the directional thing. You can't just like tap R2 and then move it. Like, I don't know.
Right. Progression is
Something.
pretty quick. 2 levels almost immediately.
Yeah, that was quick. Wait.
This was your first named opponent, and he was a door guardian. But
Yeah,
you know, I
yeah.
don't actually know what door he was blocking.
This one here, I think.
Okay.
This weird sparkly one.
Okay. Sparkly door.
Sparkly.
Very good.
Talk to you. I am Tellum. The fold. Okay.
Okay, Taylor, that's my job. I'm gonna need you to back off.
What like you know those like doctor head mirror things?
Yeah, yeah.
He's got like an oversized one.
That's odd.
I'm glad you find that funny. Bare hands, war gloves, sword.
Since we're criticizing this NPC, what do you think of the art style?
I actually really like it.
Hmm. Yeah, there was in doing some research and looking up a lot of what critics thought of the gameplay and some of the director's commentary. They felt that they wanted to move away from the hyper realistic trend that a lot of, especially the more AAA titles, attempt to do. Realistic faces, realistic environments, and
Hmm.
there's so much focus on how much does it look like real life, that here they made an effort to go for a much more deliberate polygonal art style that
Yeah.
is more representative of people, representative of themes. And I like that opens up their resources to focus on the gameplay.
Ooh, I got some commander pants.
Well, that you should stop playing. That was the goal, no?
That was.
It was
That's
play this and
funny.
get some pants, or go to Target. That we chose the game, but that's same goal.
Ooh, and a commander vest. Look at me. Look at me rocking. Ooh, look. Look at this.
Yeah, both you and I have the same problem when it comes to customizing characters. Spend so much time on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, cool. Dude, I look awesome now.
You do look pretty good.
Yes. Can I look like this in real life, please?
I think you could. You would look
I
weird
mean,
with
I
it.
definitely could.
So how much would you say you're mashing still?
Oh, no, I figured it out a little bit. There's quite a bit of mashing, but like, wait, what? Oh, but like I figured out which one is like dodge, and which one is
Hmm.
parry. So that helps.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly though, like when your fighting combo is square, 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 like you're gonna be mashing square, like there's a
Yeah.
little bit of that
Yeah.
no matter what.
Let's talk a little bit about your experience with the traditional kind of fighting game. Did
Uh-huh.
you ever get into? I mean, I don't think you've ever got into a competitive space, but did you ever get into more than just a casual button mashing? Did you ever focus on learning combos or have favorite
Um,
characters?
there was a Mortal Kombat game with like a story type mode or something.
Okay.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember. This was like when I was in college, but I
Okay.
maybe at some point. Maybe I'm making things up, I don't remember. But there was at one point I tried learning each character's like special moves and then I would some of the characters had easier special moves than others and so for a small amount of time I did sort of try. It wasn't like it was like single player mode or whatever. So it wasn't like I was playing against other people, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but really I was just like, you know what? I don't care. Super Smash Brothers, button mashing. Button mashing all the way. That's really just how I do it. And then I whine
Yeah.
when I lose because everyone else knows the combos, but I'm just like, don't care. I don't want to learn
Yeah.
them.
It's funny because we've talked about this before. You're very into Overwatch. I mean, you're
Yeah.
you're very involved in that community.
Uh-huh.
But I wouldn't, correct me if I'm wrong. I wouldn't classify you as a competitive gamer.
That is correct. That is very
But you
correct.
game enough that I think that you probably experience competitive gamers.
Sure.
And I think
Yeah.
that's the same for me. Is I get involved in a game, Smash Brothers or um, Rocket League or whatever, that even though I don't play in a competitive way, I experience those players and I can appreciate what they're capable of doing. but it amazes me how much time or skill or both that they put into it to be able to be that good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I play Overwatch a lot. I'm not good at it. I enjoy it, but I know that I'm not great. So that's why I avoid playing like the actual competitive mode or like the ranked mode where you like get, ranked based on your skill. I really just want to play it for fun when I get home from work and want to blow off some steam. And so I'll usually Overwatch has this um mode where it's the arcade mode, and so like
Hmm.
they don't really count to your win-loss ratio or whatever, and like they're just sort of fun crazy modes. Like one of them is low gravity, and then there's one that's like total mayhem where all of your cooldowns are like cut in a half and your health is like double or like whatever, and so it's a little bit more hectic. Um and that's all I play anymore on Overwatch. It's like the fun dumb versions that are just slightly like weird.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
people have more fun in them because they're not meant to be like the straight game. So there's one where it's like mystery heroes, every time you die you respawn as a different hero and you can't pick what hero it is. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, I don't really like being that competitive with it. You're right. I enjoy that game, but I don't really care to like, you know, compete, I guess.
It's a credit to Overwatch and any other game that allows you to jump in as somebody who's not competitive, but that has a strong competitive community and still feel like you can play and not get griefed all the time.
Right.
That's hard to do. It's hard to do that kind of balancing, and credit to them for doing it.
Yeah. And the thing is like I don't, I have this headset so you and I can play together.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
never talk when I play Overwatch. Sometimes I'll put the
Hmm.
headset on and just like listen to what people are saying, like, oh, there's a Widowmaker up in the corner or whatever. Like, but I don't talk
Hmm.
because know there are gamers out there that like have, they're the nice guys who like can't stand women gamers or whatever, or like just the dudes who just for whatever reason think you can't play a game because you're a girl.
Hmm.
And so I want to avoid that. I'm playing this game for fun. I don't want to spend my life like, being harassed or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it in Overwatch culture isn't really that toxic, but I've heard it. I've heard it on there and it's like, yeah, I don't need this in my life. Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah, unfortunately, you encounter all kinds, and
Yeah.
it stinks that there's not a good
Yeah.
solution yet for that.
No, yeah. I mean, you can report people on there. I'm not really sure what effect it has or whatever, but
Yeah, but how much fun would you have if you spent all your time reporting
right,
people?
exactly. Yeah. I
Yeah, you just
mean,
want to play.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. One of the nice things about Journey, because not everyone, I mean, if you play Journey, you know this, but Journey is a multiplayer game, and it doesn't stand out as a multiplayer game. You don't immediately think of it as a multiplayer game, but
Yeah.
you know, the fun thing about Journey and the way that it was so limited in the way that you could interact with other players, so much so that in fact a lot of people didn't even know it was
That
multiplayer
they were
until
actual, yeah. I
right until
loved the
even the end of
subtlety
the
of
game.
that. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't even, and then you get, like, there's a trophy for, like, you know, the multiplayer portion has a trophy where, like,
Hmm.
you get it for playing so much of the game with another person or
Hmm.
whatever, which I think is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
neat.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful, and I've read all these little stories of people who, had these really unique experiences. One person who wrote because it was snow in the final area
Yeah.
of that game, and wrote by moving their body in the snow, like
Oh,
I think
that's
"thank
cool.
you" or something. And it's like really like oh, that's really nice that people kind of carve their way of humanity into a game like that.
Right.
Really great.
Yeah.
And I bring it up because this game, has a persistent online mode that, you're connected to the server. So right now, you can be, or maybe have been, interacting with online players, but it seems like it's not so obvious.
Yeah, it did say like just now, I don't know if you saw it, it said so and so has entered the area in the bottom right
Yeah.
corner. And I was like, "Oh,
Yes.
that must be another person."
Yeah. Which, potentially this is a person that's going to be, because it's PvP, they could be against you, or it could be they could help you out in a cooperative way. It really just depends on, I guess, the mood of the person.
Yeah.
So this guy seems to be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, he just totally beat me.
Yeah. You know, meanwhile, this other person was just watching you.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, they're just like standing there waiting their turn. Like, oh, I'll stay down.
You know, that's really interesting, is that clearly they took advantage of the fact that you were dying.
I had already
and,
weakened him a bit, yeah.
you know, which is fair. I mean, that's, you know,
Oh, yeah.
it's totally fair. Go for it. um, it reminds me a little bit of, you know, we haven't really delved into Dark Souls a lot. We did one of the PS Plus games. Was Dark Souls 2 or 3 or it doesn't matter. The point is that we've dealt with these very difficult games in which there's a multiplayer component, and seeing how other players, you know, interact with you in a limited way.
Boy. Jeez.
So it looks like the gentleman that you lost to was a boss, according to our viewer.
Oh.
So at least feel good. Feel good that, you know, it was not some random.
Yeah.
Like just then.
Right. I guess button mashing isn't the way to go, huh?
Not always.
No. Is this... Okay, this is another player, I think. Ah, my headset.
Can you work together? Yes, that is another player. No, you went for the attack.
Ugh.
So your decision to attack did not go so well.
Okay.
And while you get your bearings, you know, we do these things with a challenge in mind.
Yeah.
And that challenge is trophies. So I do want to talk to you a little bit about the trophy selection in this game and what we're going for.
Okay, yeah. Give it to me.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you do have an offer for help from one of our viewers.
Ooh. Yes, please. Give me your hints. Give me your knowledge.
Even if it's actual in-gameplay help, go for it.
Tell me some things.
No, I mean, they could maybe even join the game with you. It's possible.
Is that possible?
So, possible. Anything's possible.
Join us, please.
It's the internet. So from psnprofiles.com, again, Trophy Aggregator, they are a site for trophy hunters, and so this typically tends to be a good way to grab data on how difficult the trophy is. There is, in this game, a platinum trophy. There are 7 gold trophies, 9 silver trophies, and 6 bronze trophies. A total of 23 trophies for 1,170 points. Now, that is a low amount of trophies compared to a lot of games that we've done before, but it is a lot of points. And that's because, you know, you've got 7 gold. A lot of the times we play games that typically have 1 or 2 gold trophies, and this game just are giving you all these high-end ones. That being said, the platinum trophy is 1.15%. It's an ultra rare trophy. Not a lot of people have been able to play this game to completion, and we're already a month out from the PS Plus. So this is a difficult game to platinum. Frankly, it's a difficult game to get any trophy in.
Really? Great. So,
Yeah.
I got some noble shoes.
Noble shoes are good.
Yeah.
That may have been from another character, actually.
Okay, I have received an invitation from our fellow viewers, so I'm going to, oh, you know what? I'm gonna invite you to our party because Tony and I have a party. So,
Yes.
Hold on 2 seconds. You won't be able to see what I'm doing right now, interwebs. I apologize. I don't know because I wasn't paying attention. I see.
Trophies to get is to pick up an item, but it's a bit random, which is why it's not the one that I chose to go for. The trophy that you're going for in this game,
Uh-huh.
which is this is a doll, you get for knocking an enemy off of a height, like off of a platform.
Oh. Wait, I just...
So they have to die by being knocked off.
Oof! I just want the loot. I have a sword now, guys. Nice. Tony, did you see my suggestion on a party? Can you... Oh, I just got the trophy! Dude! I just got the trophy!
Wait, for knocking him off?
Yes!
Oh my gosh.
That never happens.
Wow, that is way sooner than I thought. We're not even at the hour mark. Okay, so normally our rules for our competition is that we set a trophy goal, and then we don't play after we hit the trophy. I try and set the goal for approximately the 2-hour mark, or a little before the 2-hour mark. And there is always a bit of randomness to when you get the trophy, but I didn't expect it to happen this quickly. Most of
really funny.
the research I did indicated that it was much more difficult to get a trophy than this. So interesting. I'm not really sure how we proceed here. Technically, if you don't get another trophy, we're still good.
Yeah,
so,
I'll just avoid getting trophies. So
that's right. Avoid doing anything special.
Curse King says he can only join us through game invites. So I wonder if I can invite him. I can probably invite you to join me. I don't know how to do that. How do I do that? Oh, but I'm already in a party with Tony, so I'm not sure that'll work. I appreciate your offer to help, and I would love for you to join us at some point, but I don't know, because Tony and I are already in a party, and we're already playing this together, I'm not sure that I can...
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit too complicated for our simple minds.
I don't know. Click X.
We'll see. We'll keep playing, and if it's possible, we'll figure it out. Meanwhile, I do feel now an obligation to get through some of our material a little bit quicker now. Some trivia. This game began work in May of 2015, and that's notable because it came out August 29th of 2017. So this game was in development for some time, and most of the focus was on the combat. It was to some success because the game was highly rated by critics. It specifically was nominated for the Game Critic Awards in 2016 and the Golden Joystick Awards in 2017. Do you watch any of the award shows?
Any of what award shows? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I was figuring out the social thing on this game for our friend.
That's okay. I mostly talk to myself. We're totally good.
No, I don't watch
Game award shows.
I don't watch any award shows, so I don't even know why I had to bother to ask. No is the answer.
I do occasionally if I've got nothing to, if I have free time. But I do always get the results afterwards. I do like knowing who the gaming community has chosen as, the leaders in the various games. And the thing is that even though this won 2 separate award categories, on shows that I'm pretty sure I would have at least read about after the fact, I had never heard of this game before. And I'm not so connected that it's crazy and how dare this game never have reached my ears. But I do find it surprising that it would have won so much and been released on PS Plus, and I had heard nothing. It's not like Ubisoft game developers were hidden gems. I thought I would have heard of this, so it's a nice surprise. You seem to be getting, your avatar is getting rather naked, which is weird. Moving past that, it's a nice surprise to have a good game that kind of was a gem of a game that came out of nowhere for me. Had you heard of this game at all?
No.
Yeah.
Hi, friend. Let's go beat some people up.
We figured out a thing. That's a great microcosm of what this show is, which is us blindly and futilely attempting to do very simple things.
Ooh. Right? Like,
So we did say that we were going to do no online components, and we clearly lied because we are now
we did
doing an online
lie,
component.
but it's
Thank you for
fun.
joining
It's
in with
fun.
us. And with 2 against 1, this should be a little easier.
I hope so. He has a weapon though, and I don't. I don't know how. Oh, I died. I was like, what happened to the sword I had? I died. That's what happened to the sword I
That's
had.
right. That's right. And your weapon are your fists and your mind.
Nice. Yeah, now I have his weapon. Thanks for your help, yo. That was fun. Let's keep
Nice,
playing
nice, nice.
some stuff. Wait,
I was
where
getting
is
nervous because
the door?
the death of a boss may mean another trophy.
Oh yeah.
We seem to be good.
No, no, no. We just can't get another. Is the
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about the HUD. The HUD,
yeah.
of course, is the heads-up display. For those who don't know, which should be nobody, but you got your stamina bar, your health bar. Is it intuitive? Do you feel like it's obstructive? You know, it seems like it's just a small element of game design, but I find the HUD to be like the most important thing.
I'm confused by so there's the yellow bar on the top, and then there's the bar below. I'm not really sure which is what the yellow one on the top means.
The yellow
my
one on
health?
the top seems to be your health.
And the one on the bottom is my stamina?
Yes.
Okay. I think I figured that out then. Clearly.
Yeah.
Ah!
And then the R1 seems to be sort of indicating how and what direction you do your parrying.
Oh, you could have revived me and I just respawned. That was dumb. I was like, what? I need to respawn. And then, sorry. Where are you?
We're learning. Meanwhile, your body just teleported and you left him. You left.
I know. I was like,
Cursed K
bye,
behind.
yo. I didn't know revive was a thing. I know now. So next time, we'll figure it out. I gotta find where you are, though. Are you still here? You're somewhere.
I'm sorry if you can hear all the neighborhood dogs. I don't know why they're all freaking out.
There's dogs?
I bring up the HUD question because, you know, it's one of those, like when they're cooperating with the fellow player. It's like a wheel. You have to kind of aim at the wheel and click.
Yeah.
I don't like that system.
No.
I never have. I've always felt like I'm circling around the wheel multiple times to select what I want to select. It's not like this terrible mistake, but it's one of those things that I feel like there have been so many games and so many different HUDs. And I know that you're trying to design a HUD that makes sense to the art and the style of your game, but I also feel like there are systems that work and systems that don't. So I don't understand why we keep vacillating game to game with such vastly different systems.
Yeah, I don't know. What,
I feel like the wheel system doesn't work, and we should stop using it.
Yes, I definitely agree. What, I wonder if our friend here, Cursed King, has played this game before. He seems to know what he's doing.
I'm gonna hope it's a yes and not just that we're showing ourselves to be extremely incompetent. You have a warning to beware of friendly fire, so button mashing may not be the best course of action.
Oops, sorry.
Another
Yeah, I don't like that
level
either. If we're already cooperating, why would it let me start a fight with you? Like, That seems silly.
You mean like well, friendly fire is a thing.
Yeah, I don't
It
know.
encourages you to be more cautious in the game. I mean, I don't love the friendly fire thing too. I play games that it is annoying. You kind of accidentally set it off. It's like, ugh, come on. But it is clearly a deliberate choice by the developers.
I like this open area. This is nice.
I feel like you're a little bit nervous now to jump into the fray.
No, I'm nervous because I don't want to get another trophy accidentally.
Uh,
Cool. Cool.
yes, Cursed Key is a little bit experienced. Played this for a few weeks.
Yeah, he knows more than we do.
Yeah. Again, we're assuming your gender, Cursed Key. We don't intend to. If
Oh
we're getting
yeah,
it wrong, we
sorry.
apologize.
Yeah.
If not, great, but we don't.
I
We don't
just
intend
assumed because his name is Cursed King that it was a he, but I could be mistaken. I don't know. I don't know everything.
to. Most things, but not everything.
Not everything. A lot of things.
We do a little segment in the show called Trophy Yays and Trophy Nays.
Oh yeah. Tell us more. about that.
Again, I focus really heavily on the trophies. For me, that's a big element of my gaming. I like to collect them all if I can, and
Yeah.
I've noticed some elements that I really like in the trophy, and some that I don't. And let's talk a little bit about the great and the not so great. There's a trophy called Level 100. It's a trophy you get for maximizing your multiplayer level, and so it's an entirely online trophy. You have to play a lot of PvP battles to get that high. Now, you're noticing that you are getting some levels, and so
Yeah.
it's not like they're impossible, but it is one of those things that the higher up you get, the harder it is to get to the next level. That's very common in an RPG leveling system. From my research, it seems like most people tend to get the platinum for this game after 50 or so hours of gameplay.
Oh, sorry. 50 or so. Huh.
Yeah. And the trophy yay for this game is Smells Like Victory, which you get for winning one PvP duel.
I revived him for funsies and then he attacked me again. It was good.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Wait, I want to revive my friend. Stop it! You frickin'. Thank you. Now stop hitting me.
Yeah, he's going to town. That was nice, though. That was it.
Yeah, it was. I was like, I'll
Run
revive
away.
him. It'll be friendly, and then he can.
Cursed Key says you should have waited.
Yeah.
Waited for...
I don't know. To revive him, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. As opposed to your strategy, just run! Run
I wanna
away!
leave.
Anyway, the
Maybe
whole
he
trophy
meant-
discussion was to indicate that for me, when you do a multiplayer-based game, I think it's a bit cheap to put a trophy behind a gate of just many hours of grinding online.
Yeah.
Especially because you can't guarantee that your game is going to be popular enough to even be playable for that amount of grind.
Stop chasing me, dude. Okay.
This person really wants a battle.
Yeah, I really just don't want to do that right now. Stop. Go away.
Also, I think you've lost Cursed.
No, I got it.
go.
So that was the trophy nay, right? Did we do the trophy yay and I just wasn't listening?
You're never listening, but that's
I
cool.
know, I know. You're right. Correct.
No, they're both related in that, there's a correct way, in my opinion, to do a multiplayer trophy and an incorrect way. And the correct way is please dabble into our multiplayer mode, dabble in our online mode. Here's a trophy for one PvP win. I think that's great. It encourages you to get into it. If the online mode is not as popular as they anticipated, it should still be doable. I would steer away from doing online trophies at all based on the fact that, servers go down. But if you feel like you need to do it to have your game be complete, since it's an online game, that's the way to do it. But to do 100 levels of online grinding, I think that's excessive, and I
Yeah.
think it's not fun. It's not a fun trophy, and I disagree with that level of a grind. I don't like that.
Yeah. I agree with you. Whoa, this place is all slopey.
You're being given the option to stay away from bosses or fight them.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. The whole point of our show is to only get one trophy. If we get another one, it's not the end of the world. We can fight the bosses. I'm just not. Probably at a different level than you. Probably gonna have a harder time in your world, but it's cool.
You're just a visitor.
Are there invisible people and I'm just making things up?
It does seem like there's an invisible person. Or maybe, yeah, it seems like an invisible person. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I mean, the sword is a bit of a giveaway.
I mean, yeah, I was like, there's a sword here, but I'm not fighting anyone. I'll pick that up. Cool.
Ooh, sorry.
Ooh. Okay, so what's next, Tony? What's next in our world of show?
That's about it until we get to the reviews. So to be honest, let's pad it out a little bit with some more gameplay because again, we haven't even done an hour yet.
Yeah.
But what are your impressions of the game so far? You're getting to experience cooperative play, which is honestly I wasn't expecting that. But talk a little bit about the art, talk a little bit about the controls, the HUD.
You know what? For being a game with not really a whole ton of story, I'm actually quite enjoying this. I'm a story-driven girl. Like this is pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then Curse is indicating that it's pretty much the same gameplay whether you're with another person or not. So
Yeah.
it's just an open world.
I see. So it doesn't matter that you've played this for way longer than I have. It's just the same thing is all he's saying. Cool, cool, cool.
For me, my big sort of thumbs down for this was I never really felt a compelling purpose to what I was doing. It felt like I was exploring and I was, getting a handle of what combat was like. But I never also felt like, okay, well, what am I trying to do other than, become an Absolver and be able to join a school, which are elements that you would be able to experience if you kept playing. But, all it is really the same thing as joining a guild kind of a thing. It's just...
I see.
It's just opening it up a little bit more, adding some more options. But essentially, it's similar gameplay from what my research has indicated.
Oh, my sword broke.
How very Breath of the Wild. Whenever you play these types of games, I find it amusing. I can always hear your button pressing, like as you get more frantic. I can hear it.
It's fun.
It is fun.
Ooh, what's here?
Nice.
Whoa, there's like... Oh, this is fun. I like the interaction menu. Victory jump! Oh my gosh, this is fun.
Alright, so you got your emotes. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't see dabbing.
No.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just playing around with things.
Again, there were no emotes available in Journey, which is the game that I keep going
Right.
to when I'm playing this one. And for that, people tend to interact with jumps or just standing still or sitting. There was very limited things you could do. And it was amazing how powerful people were able to speak without really the option to speak.
Yeah.
Here
You
with
could,
emotes and
well, the one thing that I liked was that you could like jump. Was it
hmm
and like, sort of like, I don't know, say like, hey, like if you ran to one side of the screen or whatever and you jumped to indicate that you wanted
yeah,
the other person. I mean, there were very subtle ways, but yeah, you're right. There wasn't really a whole lot of interaction. You had to like make your
yeah,
own stuff.
yeah. And it feels like this game is
Ooh,
not so frantic that you can use emotes in a way that's like come toward this area.
right.
Thank you for your help. That's great. I think it's a great addition. Especially I'm coming off of playing a lot of Fortnite, and Fortnite it's like you don't have time to sit and do that kind of a thing.
Oh,
You,
you've
you
been
don't.
playing Fortnite?
I have, yeah. I've been getting into that trend.
I haven't played
We
that.
can talk about it a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
let's.
fun. I mean, it's everyone's playing it. It would be hard pressed to find anyone who's not really
Ooh.
in that world. But it's are you familiar with what it is?
No, I don't really know anything about it.
Okay, so you're the main mode, the one that everyone's playing. You're dropped into a big map with 99 other people. So there's 100 people,
Okay.
and you sort of choose where on the map you want to land. And once you land, it becomes a free for all. Everyone's trying to kill everyone else, and you're trying to find loot. You're trying to find materials to potentially build yourself a little base, but mostly to get guns and health potions. And the gimmick is that once you die, that's it. You're done. Everyone's killing each other to get to one person, and the map is always shrinking, so it's pushing you towards the center of the map at all times. So at most, I've seen a game last 30, 40 minutes. They tend to be short games.
Okay.
And part of it is luck. If you just happen to be running across the map towards the center, naked and just running, you can get pretty far. You can get pretty high on the number. Well, pretty low, I guess. You'd be on the 15th player left or whatever. But
Right.
typically, a good player is the one that's lasting till the end, and eventually they'll get sniped, and you don't even realize what happened.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, there's not a lot of commitment. There's not a lot to learn. But as you play, you get much better quickly. You get to be able to real quickly building walls and shooting things, and it's real fun to then watch when you die the next player massacre the rest of the playing field. It's worth a download. It's free. The beta's free for the PS4.
Okay.
Maybe we'll explore it on the channel sometime. All right, so the white glow is a solo boss.
Ooh.
So you'd have to lose your
I would
buddy,
have to
but
say goodbye to Cursed King.
I don't think you're good without doing it, right?
Yeah, I don't need to do the solo boss. I'm cool.
If you're so interested, future viewers, in knowing what lies beyond the White Rift, there are plenty of YouTube videos available.
What lies beyond the pale?
Exactly.
Wowie. Dude, it is so hot right now. Like,
I know.
my air conditioning has been running nonstop. Just like nonstop.
I hear you. It's of course is saying 1 minute. Sorry, I'm not sure if that's. I'll
I
be back.
just spin in circles for a minute.
I'll come back. Your character's like vomiting.
I'm vomiting.
Yeah, we usually try to keep these shows somewhat evergreen, but no, let's talk about the heat. It is August.
Ugh.
It is miserable.
It is so bad. Like, okay, I know we're in the South,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, ugh.
It's so humid here. Like I recently moved to the south,
Yeah.
and it is like, oh my gosh, I feel like I can't keep sweating as much as I sweat
Oh
down here.
no. I fell asleep when I got home from work, and I woke up just
hmm
a puddle of sweat. Just like a puddle. cuddle.
It's funny. It's gross because the thing is you also want to go out. You want to go to the beach. You want to go with your friends. You want to enjoy summer. But you get all dressed up. You get all ready to go, and you go out, and you're like, I am so gross within 5 minutes. I don't want to be anywhere anymore.
Yeah. My significant other, his apartment, like he lives in basically like the attic space of this house,
Oh
and
no.
he has a window air conditioning that is so inadequate for the space that
Oh
he lives
no.
in, and it's like you cannot sleep. You stay the
Yeah.
night there and you're just like, I'm dead now, right? Like we're gonna die.
Yeah, and that
It's
heat
great,
rises.
really.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
No, I hear you. I mean, at least we're lucky in the sense that we can go from an air-conditioned place into a car into another air-conditioned place, but
Yeah.
still, it's not pretty.
Well, the other day I was in the office. I'm like an ice cube in the office. They keep it like chilly in there. And then
Hmm.
I leave the office and I'm like, "Oh, no, no, no. Can I go back into that like frigid air, please?" Because you walk outside and it's like 1,000,001 degrees.
Yeah. Lauren, you're fighting Lamrin.
I see that.
I just, Lauren Lamrin. It amused me. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, this game, you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the gameplay that I've seen. I enjoyed researching it. I know I'm a lot of negatives to say. I don't mean to spoil the end here, but there's not a lot to it. It's another one of
No.
those games that's like, okay, I feel like you have the gist of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay, I understand. I mean, I think eventually learning like the different modes or whatever, different like stances or whatever, because I
Yeah.
basically have been in the one stance the whole time, I think.
Yeah, as you gain combat cards and you're able to meditate and flipping through which ones you want to use for whichever
Yeah.
situation,
Yeah.
it becomes much more advanced. And I think you would really need to, I guess, really enjoy the playstyle to be able to get that far. Because here, we're casually kind of going through it, and there it's much more
Yeah.
of a, oh, I built a strategy.
Right.
In the card-based system, it reminds me of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
The second one, the chain something.
Chain of Memories.
Thank you. I wanted to say Chain Gang, and I'm like,
Chain
pretty sure it
Gang?
wasn't called Chain Gang. Tony.
No.
Chain of Memories. Yeah, there was also a card-based. All your actions
Yeah.
were done on a rotating card. It's different. I'm not saying it's the same, but it just reminds me of that. that
Yeah,
sort of-
yeah, it brings that to mind for you. Yeah, sure.
And here's the thing that is also me being me. In Kingdom Hearts, they explain weirdly their little card system and how that makes sense. And
Okay.
here they don't explain why your combat is limited to cards. So for me, I have to in my head write a backstory as to, well, why would you learn a skill and then forget it and then have to reapply it? That seems so
Right.
silly to me. And I don't know why I do that to myself. I can't just enjoy the mechanics of a game. I have to explain it away.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. You're like, no.
And I'm not the only one because, we haven't talked about this yet, but in Uncharted 4, there was an interview with the development team, and they talked about how his health bar made any sense.
Oh
he was
yeah,
shot by
because he doesn't
bullets
have
and-
health. It's a luck bar or something. It's like now his health is yeah.
Exactly. And there was one of those things that it really felt like somebody was eating breakfast and just kind of an answer out, not even thinking about it. That's
Yeah.
explanation. Are you happy? And Lauren, I was happy. I
Yeah.
was so glad to have an answer. It just was like, yes, thank you. You have justified my crazy headcanon shenanigans. Thank you.
Headcanon.
Yeah. So I'm just assuming that in this world, we only can remember a couple of things at one time. That's just
Right.
how it is.
Yeah, it's like something about their short-term memory or their long-term memory or something.
Yeah. Probably something to do with them not having faces.
Yeah. Ooh. Hello, other player from the interworld.
Interworld.
The internet world.
I like it. Oh, you two are beating up this internet person.
I know, the internet person got it good.
That's what you get for going on the internet.
Oy.
You unlocked the shard. Shards and gems allow you to purchase new combat cards? Question
Okay.
mark. Weapons or equipment? Question mark. I clearly did not
Ooh.
do the amount of research that I should have, but it does allow you to buy things, so that's a thing.
Cool, I can buy stuff.
Everyone loves buying stuff. Unless it's with real money. We're not big fans of microtransactions. We're not
Yeah,
totally against
microtransactions,
them.
no thanks.
But they are kind of annoying. Have you ever bought a microtransaction? Ever?
Yes. For
In what?
Overwatch. Just because they have like,
Overwatch.
yeah. Sometimes they have aesthetic things that you can only get for limited amounts of time, and then it's like, well, you know, I guess.
Yeah.
They had one that was like, you got the, ooh, you got a skin if you like, donated to like some cancer charity that they were. But it was a really cool skin, but it was $15. It was a $15 donation, and I was like, I don't really like have that at
Yeah.
the moment. So,
I like how you're like, let me describe the skin to you. It was some cancer charity, I don't remember, but the
I mean, the
skin.
skin, it was for, yeah, we know, we're just picking on microtransactions. He says everything in this game is free.
Yeah, no, yeah,
We're
all
just
the
being
gems and shards
nitpicky.
you pick up in game, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is great. It should be applauded and should be noted. That is
Yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're
We enjoy
talking
that.
about the fact that when the games don't do that,
Yeah,
that's a whole other story.
yeah. Hey,
But yeah,
let's
I've also
do
bought a
the...
cosmetic item.
Oh, yeah, for what?
Rocket League. I bought
Oh.
some cars.
You bought some cars?
Yeah. I bought a DeLorean from
Oh, sure.
it was coinciding with Back to the Future Day in
Uh-huh.
2015. I bought it. Because
That's
I'm a
cool.
nerd. Which is not cool. You're lying, but thank you.
No, I like it. I think it's cool that
Yay.
they had like a tie-in for that.
There were a bunch of tie-ins that day, as I remember, but that was one that I was like, this is a video game and Back to the Future? I'll take it. Rivario, the first marked one.
I've been leveling up. Hello, you.
Yeah, have you been able to spend your points with
I've
meditation,
spent
or
a few of them.
you like
I'm
you
just
like
having
storing
fun at
them
this
up?
point. I don't really, like, whenever.
Yeah, fun isn't meditation. I'm even trying to think of any other games that are similar to this that we've played. We talked a little bit about Bound, a little bit about Rhyme. Mostly those were in art style.
Yeah.
We haven't played a lot of action adventure open world games like this. I mean, I don't know. We played a little bit of Metal Gear Solid. The new one was a bit open world, but that wasn't. It's a stealth with weapons. It's not similar. Maybe it'd be better to compare this to like oh my gosh, what is that game? Kung Fu Panda.
Oh
I mean,
my
obviously
gosh. Yeah.
that's a arena-based combat game, but this is such an odd mix of games. It's hard to really compare it with
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, it's strange.
Maybe it's a combination of Dark Souls,
Oh, I fell.
Rhyme,
How do I get back up?
and Kung Fu Panda. From the PS Plus games we've played.
Kung Fu Panda, Rhyme, and which one?
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls? I lost you, friend. Oh, there you are. Hi.
Because I wouldn't say this is as difficult as Dark Souls. Oh man, we
Oh
suffered
my
through that game.
god, Dark Souls.
I mean, obviously a fun game, obviously very well designed, obviously very specific to a community that love the ultra hardcore games. That's not us. We attempted. It just was comical how it was like, man, we cannot get past whatever. And
Yeah.
here, you know, it seems like there's a curve, but it's not too steep.
Right. would agree with that.
I have noticed that there's not a lot of loading screens. You are definitely been traversing a lot of open world spaces
Yeah.
without very many
I mean,
needs for the game
there's been a
to.
time or two where I felt it like just a little tiny bit of like, oh, there's a lag here. But
Yeah.
and I'm even playing with someone from the internet and there's not even like a there's no yeah, it's kind of great actually. I'm surprised at how smooth this has been for what we're doing, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and for this to be an online experience, you got people popping in and out, that's
Mhm.
impressive. It takes a
Yeah.
lot of skill, and I wonder if an upcoming open world, constantly online game will be able to do it as well as this game is doing it, and that's Fallout 76.
Oh, yeah.
That's this is an interesting template for what they're attempting to do there. And I think they obviously saved by not having the intense graphics that Fallout 76 is expected to have, but it's nice to see that it's doable. At least the mechanics are doable.
Well, it helps that my internet isn't like the worst internet in the world anymore, you know.
Yeah, for those people who followed us for a while, like Angrel, the second marked one, Lauren's internet was down for some time, and I became the resident gamer for some time, which was fun. But I do enjoy my
Oh,
research,
sorry.
so thank you for.
Ooh, what's this? I was apologizing to Cursed King because I hit him in the
No,
face.
I saw how rude you were. It's funny the way Christine kind of stood there, like, really? So you did unlock a new attack slot. That seems particularly useful.
Yeah. Nope. All right, Tony. Let's do our review game. I'm
Yeah, I
ready
was
for
gonna
that.
say, unfortunately, we've been through all of our written material, and you've technically already done the challenge, which I didn't want to kill it so early. So let's talk
Yeah.
about our main purpose here, which is you've gotten the trophy. Congratulations, way
Thank you.
later.
Thank you.
Yay!
Mhm.
You've done the
Mhm.
challenge that I've set for you, and with that, you should have enough information to be able to give this game somewhat of a rating with a giant asterisk. You haven't played the whole thing, don't take us for the
Yeah.
complete game. But let's compare what you think to the rest of the critics think by playing the Metacritic game.
Sure. Let's do it.
Oof, your mic is so staticky.
Me?
Sorry. Yeah,
Sorry.
maybe it's me. Could be me. I
It's
don't know. Who knows?
probably me.
Okay, here's how we play. So, you've played the game. You've gotten the trophy. It's time for segment we're calling Is Lauren Harsher Than Metacritic? Here's how we play. First, you give me what you would rate this game out of 100 and why. Then you tell me if you think your score will be higher or lower than the Metacritic average of game critics. Then I'll read to you the highest and lowest critic ratings without the numbers they were assigned. And finally, we'll reveal if you went higher or lower than the Metacritic rating. Are you ready to critique?
Yeah. Yes. I think.
And let's also throw out there that if Cursed Key is still listening, since you were so integral to this gameplay,
Whoops.
if you would like to throw us a number between 0 to 100 of what you would rate this game, we would love to hear that as well.
Oh, sorry.
You're good, you're good.
I was getting Fluid Smog to join us, I think.
I love it.
Okay.
You're making friends with the whole internet.
So Cursed King gives this game an 80.
All right, we got 80 from Cursed King,
I
and now
think,
it's time for, yeah,
yeah, I think I'm gonna give this game a 70.
70. So I need you to give me some justification. Why it's
So
70?
I like the art style. I think it's fun. I think the open world aspect is really well done. I like, the fighting. It's pretty intuitive, I guess. Once you
Mm-hmm.
get the hang of it, and yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Okay, that's fair. So here's the next component. I'm going to read to you the high and the low on Metacritic, and then we'll
Okay.
see if you think that you've gone higher or lower on average.
Yeah.
Here's the high. In my opinion, Absolver is in the upper echelon of recent releases, but it still has a few issues. The camera can work against you at the most inopportune times, like when you're cornered, but that's more bearable to me than the motion blur. Other than those complaints, the game slows down its offering after a dozen hours or so unless you're playing co-op with friends. On the plus side, there's supposed to be free DLC in the future, and it seems like a pretty solid promise. Given Absolver's $30 price tag, you can't really complain about this purchase. That was from Worth Playing, the online magazine.
Okay.
On the low side, I
Yeah.
did eventually find my bearings, and the entire game took me less than 5 hours to complete, after which I was told in no uncertain terms to go back and continue training with other players. This is obviously meant to be the true hook of the game. Unfortunately, the co-op functionality isn't working properly at this time. While Slow Clap will probably get the server stable eventually, the fact remains that Absolver's core combat feels so awkward and
I'm stuck.
unsatisfying. Oh no,
How do
that I
I
can't
jump?
imagine you ever taking off.
Ah, plonk.
You get stuck in every game.
I
I don't know
get
how you do that. This is
stuck.
okay. This is
Skill
not the
sets.
first time that she has done this. I don't know what it is about you
Okay.
getting stuck on
Okay,
physics.
now that you've read the reviews, read what Cursed King says here.
That was Game Critics. And from our amateur resident critic, or maybe you're a professional critic. I'm going to assume you're a professional.
Yes.
Cursed Key says, it's a fun and interesting game, but it's easy to beat and it's not too large. And not much PvE story mode. After a certain level, it becomes all PvP. I paraphrased a little bit just to make it more clear. Yeah, I think that's a good point as well. So we
Okay.
already know what Cursed Key gave. It gave an 80. So we know you've gone lower than Cursed Key, but have you gone lower than Metacritic's average? What do you think? You think you've gone higher or
Um,
have you gone lower?
I. How do I get over there? Oh, I see. I think I've gone higher.
You think you've gone higher than Metacritic?
Yeah.
Well, drum roll. You have. You've both gone higher. You went 1 point higher. They gave it a 69, and Cursed Key went 11 points higher. So congratulations on being more optimistic about this game than the average critics on Metacritic did.
Wah, wah.
And you collected a silly face mask too.
I
So
did. I kind of want to put it on. Here, let me do. Let me do so.
you should put it on.
Wait, Cursed King
You
just
should
fell. Where'd you go to?
probably got stuck in physics like you did.
Yeah, right? No, I think he's over
We
this
almost had to
way.
reboot a game because you kept getting stuck in physics.
Oh
It's
my
so funny.
god. Oh, the other dude revived him, I think. Yeah.
Nice. So
Um,
this may be, we tend to be a little bit more grumpy when it comes to games, and this is one of the first times that you've gone higher than they have.
maybe.
I wonder if this speaks to the fact that because the gameplay can get a bit repetitive, that maybe you're kind of doing all the fun things right up front. You've been able to do online co-op, and sort of after this, it's not as fun later on. I mean, I feel like Cursed Key would know better having played a couple of weeks, but that's my sort of internal logic as to why they may have gone a little bit lower than you did. Not that it was a lot lower. You're at like 1 point lower. You're pretty much at the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. I mean, because I think I haven't really, you're right, I haven't really played this for that long, but I am enjoying what I've been doing so far.
Yeah.
But you're right, maybe it does get old and repetitive and whatever. Ooh, I got
The
some
silly
money.
face mask looks like Monty Python mask with streamers coming off the face. Just saying. Our final segment is it worth downloading? If you're a PS Plus subscriber, this game is free. So please purchase it, air quotes. It's free to do so. Get it in your library. But is it worth immediately downloading? Is this the game that you need to be playing right now? Here's some data to keep in mind before we give that final judgment. From howlongtobeat.com, the time sink for this game is a main story of approximately 5 hours. If you want to do a main story with all the little extras, you're
Oh,
looking
where'd
at
this
closer
dude
to
go?
9 hours. And if you're looking to get the Platinum Trophy, you're looking at closer to 50 hours. The download size for
50
this game is
hours.
5.96 gigabytes, and the price is $29.99. Now, I will give it a little star. I seem to remember downloading this game, and it was closer to 30 gigabytes. What was your download for this game?
I honestly do not remember. Whoa.
Well, officially it's at 5.96. Maybe there was that DLC that brought it up much higher, but at least you're looking at a 6 gigabyte. So with that information, what do you think as you get into this big gang fight?
6 gigabytes, $30. You know what? If you already got it for free in your library, because we know this is one of the July games and we can't get it anymore. But yeah,
Oh, that's right. It is July 1.
5 gigs, not very many hours. Yeah, I think it's fun to just like turn it on and fight some stuff for a while and then go on with your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the online space is so crowded. There's so many games that are taking up everyone's attention. And there does seem to be a community here. So, in
Yeah.
that respect, I would say if you were hoping to play this game, now is the time. You still have everyone from PS Plus. There's still a community that's playing this game, and hopefully for a long time, but you can never
Yeah.
guarantee. I would say jump into this game immediately.
Yes. That's one of our issues with like online games. How long are people gonna be playing it? How long are they gonna keep the servers even available? You know, it's like one of those like
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think for sure it's worth it at this point.
Now, if you're a trophy hunter, I might argue against it. At 50 hours to get a platinum trophy, and with the amount of online play that you'd have to play just to get that one trophy, you're going to be spending a lot of time on this. And I think you're better off playing a lot of other big name titles that have come out lately. I just don't think this is where you should put your time sink. If you're a trophy hunter, if you're concerned about getting incomplete game lists in your
Right.
trophy collection. So if that's a concern, I would say skip this one. Otherwise, I think Lauren and I are in agreement. This is a good to go download.
Yeah.
Well, Lauren, I think it's time for the closing. So, and with that, I absolve all of our viewers from continue watching.
Funny.
I
Very funny.
absolve them.
I don't get it. Are you making a joke? I don't understand.
You would get it. I'm making a big hand gesture here. I absolve them all.
Ay,
If you
ay,
wanna-
ay, ay, ay.
I do this every week, everybody. If you wanted to follow us in the gaming world, how would you do that?
You would follow me at Caustic Sofa. And how about you?
You would follow me as Paradox. It's not a normal spelling of Paradox. It is Pairodocs, like a pair o docs.
Cool. Well,
And here's the part where you always close the script, and so you don't know what you're supposed to say.
my script is closed. It's been closed. I released Cursed King from his co-op with me. He's gone off to do whatever. Thank you for joining us. It was a lot of fun. Like a lot of
Yes.
fun. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
But I think I'm supposed to say something about our YouTube channel and watching our videos there if you want to see our backlog at 2 Gamers 1 Trophy.
You did it. Close enough. Thank you.
I did
And
a
thank you again, the
thing.
Cursed King, and all of our viewers. This is only fun when you guys are here and participating with us. I mean,
Yeah.
we have fun with each other.
Well,
but,
yeah.
You know, it's even more
But
fun with,
yeah,
with other
yeah.
people.
You're the whole reason.
Yeah, of everything.
Yes. All right. Well,
I absolve you of further compliments.
yes, yes, yes. But we will see you all next week when I guess Tony plays the free VR game, whatever that is called. Something about something by something.
Here they lie.
Oh yeah, the other 3-word title.
They're all 3 words. Every game this month.
Every
is
game
3
ever,
words.
3-word title.
And if you like hearing a grown man whimper while playing a scary game, come back. Come back on Thursday. Until then, Lauren is gonna beat the poop
I'm gonna
out of
let
everybody.
these people beat the crap out of me, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.